One of the difficulties that many people have is finding ways to stay motivated when working from home. Now, I have heard it said that the way to stay motivated is to just think about how much money you're going to be making. That's the motivation. And conversely, you can think about how you're going to pay the bills if there's no money coming in. Well, let me tell you, that really doesn't work. All it does is get you daydreaming on the one hand and being stressed out on the other. But there are some very simple ways that you can stay motivated when working from home, and I'm going to cover them in this video. Well, first of all, you should get up, and you should get up at a regular time every day. Now, this doesn't mean that you should get up at the same time that you used to get up when you had your 2-hour commute to your office, but you should make the effort to get up at a regular time and stick to a regular routine. And don't try to work from your bed or from your bedroom. When you first start working from home, there's a great temptation to stay in bed till lunchtime and then open up your laptop and look at emails while you're still in bed. But that's not a good idea, because you're doing something stressful in an area where you should be relaxing. And the same thing goes for turning a corner of your bedroom into an office. I know, if space is limited, you might have to do that because you might think, well, the bedroom's not used during the day. But you should try and have a dedicated work area that you don't use for any other purpose. And you should get dressed. Don't sit around in your night clothes all day. And you should wear nice clothes. Now, I'm not saying that you should wear a suit and tie if you're a man, or a skirt if you're a woman, if that's not the sort of thing that you would normally wear. But you should wear nice clothes. You should make the effort to get dressed for work. And you should make the effort to look presentable. Fix your hair, shave if you're a man, put on makeup if you're a woman, that sort of thing. The sort of thing that you would do if you were going to go outside of your home. Because if you look like a slob, then that's going to come across in your work. And you should have a specific area that you use for work. Like I was saying earlier, this should be for working in and for nothing else, so that when you finish work, you can shut the door and walk away. Another thing that you should do is you should set regular working hours. Now, this doesn't have to be 9 to 5. For example, I'm not a morning person, so I tend to start work fairly late, sort of 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then work on into the evening, because that suits me. And that's one of the perks of working from home. But you do have to set regular working hours, time when you're working and time when you're not working. And you should have a working routine, things that you do when you're at work. So, for example, you might want to check emails first thing in the morning, or make phone calls first thing, and then go on and have certain things that you do throughout the day, just like you did when you had a job. And you also need to set goals or targets. I'll talk about this in another video later on, but you need to sort of have a list of things that you're going to do during the day, a list of tasks that you want to achieve. And you should stop for lunch, and you should take breaks. Like I was showing you in that video earlier on, if you've got the work-pace software on your computer, it'll force you to stop for lunch, and it'll force you to take breaks. And that really does work. It does help to keep you motivated. And finally, you should do errands before or after working hours. So if you need to go out to the supermarket, do it before you start work, or do it after your working hours are finished, and then keep the working time just for work, just like you would do if you had a job for an employer. And you also want to remove distractions. So don't have the TV on in the background. I know it's difficult if you're interested in sports, for example, and there's something on the television, let's say there's the World Cup or the World Series or a test match going on. It might be tempting to have the TV on in the background so you can check the score, but it is very distracting and it will be very demotivating because you'll be spending too much time watching TV and not enough time working, and then you'll have to make up the time and it gets very stressful. And you should schedule a time for using social media because you can get lost in it. And it's perfectly alright to use social media to help advertise your business, to help to build your business, to make contacts with other people, to make contacts with clients, but it can start to take over your life. So you need to sort of have a block of time when you're going to use social media, and then when you reach the end of that time, you stop and go on to something else. And if you have to surf the net, then only do so when you have something specific to look for, and don't get sidetracked onto anything else, because that can be a very big distraction. Something else you want to do is to take regular exercise. You could go for a walk, or you can join a gym or a health club, healthy body, healthy mind. And you should interact with other people, and especially if you go for a walk, or if you go to the mall, or if you go to your health club, you're going to see other people and you're going to get talking to them, and that can be very motivational. And it also helps to have a project to fill the slack time when you're not doing anything. Something like that novel that you've always wanted to write, or that app that you're trying to perfect. Something that's related to work that you can do when you're not doing anything else, just to fill the time so that you stick to your working hours. And don't try and work too hard. This is a problem lots of people have when they work from home. They drive themselves and they drive themselves and they drive themselves, and they end up getting completely burned out. You can be the hardest taskmaster or hardest task mistress that you've ever worked for, and this can be a real problem. So when you start to feel tired, like this lady here who looks like she's about to fall asleep into that pile of books, that's the time to stop. So keep your body healthy, listen to your body, and when you start to feel tired, that's the time to stop, and then you can adjust your working hours accordingly so that you stay fit and healthy and that you don't end up getting completely burned out. So you need to adjust your hours so that they suit your physical and mental health as well as your financial health. And remember to take a day off every once in a while. Just because you work from home doesn't mean that you're not entitled to a day off every so often, just like you would do when you worked for an employer. So you also need to schedule regular holidays and vacations. That's very important that you take time to recharge your batteries by taking some regular holidays and just getting away from home, getting away from your work. And something that I always do is try to keep public holidays. Don't work on public holidays unless you absolutely have to. I know that's difficult if you have clients that are overseas in other countries where their public holidays might be different from yours, and they might expect you to be working when everybody else is having the day off. And you might have to do that sometimes, but whenever possible you should try and take public holidays off, because that gives you the opportunity to get together with other people, with friends and relatives who also have the day off. So there you go, just a few ways to stay motivated when you work from home.